What it do, what the business is.
It is another week in the books. It's the On Deck TV podcast. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, a.k.a. Hot Boy Brown. Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on social.
I am Spike Lou on the same social sites.
That's what it do. Lou, what you have on deck for the weekend?
My guy Sam hit me this weekend, man. He was in Orlando.
Okay.
And he said, hey, man, your boy Mxtra, is he in Orlando too? And I remember Twin here, hence the name Twin. He was like, no, I'm going to be in town this weekend. I got company coming.
Right.
So I told Sam, I said, I don't think that was him. And Sam was like, well, man, some dude in here looked just like him. And I just yelled, Mxtra in the suit 3 times. And the nigga didn't even look up.
That's funny as fuck.
That's funny as hell, but your brother got to be a special ass. So do he not know your nickname?
Bro, he said he didn't hear you.
That's funny.
He said he didn't hear Sam.
That's funny.
He said it was loud.
Sam said
he
said it 3 times, and he said the nigga didn't look up once. He said, man, he cold ignored the shit out of me. That was funny as hell. I just wanted to share that with the listeners for the weekend. What'd you have up this weekend?
Man, I was at the aquarium for some adult shit. Sips under the sea.
Oh yeah, that's a good Friday night date, right?
Yeah, date night for sure. You would have liked it. There was a lot of vibes in the building.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Oh, okay. There was a lot of vibes. I will say this though, I couldn't even really enjoy myself. The police fucking with me while I was there.
What?
Strolling through, minding my own business. Tried to give me a citation for yay walking. Said my Yeezys was too fresh. And I'm just like, dog, look, bro. I know they came out last year and they fresh as fuck. They look like they came out last night.
This was lame.
You gotta let me live.
If a cop actually did stop you and say that, this is lamer than the actual story. Right. So I don't know which one is worse. The story you making it up, or if a nigga actually did.
I gotta go to court to fight this yay walking ticket, man. And I don't appreciate that shit.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
I hope Kim gets you out. I hope she can get you out. Let me tell you what rocked my world here recently.
Whoa. Okay,
Yeah.
Wanda.
Whoa.
This chick was
don't let him do you like that.
This chick was referring to old school hip hop and then commenced to say, like Jeezy, T.I.,
Oh my God.
Ludacris. I said, wait, what?
You was at a high school?
Nah, she was a grown woman and she called Jeezy, Ludacris, T.I. old school hip hop. She said I preferred old school hip hop.
Well, they are
I
washed.
was done.
Whoa.
I mean, but to call it old school hip hop, is that what we are already?
No, we're not.
Okay,
They exaggerated. Shout out to them though.
She said that's a cool old school hip hop concept.
Tip ain't washed though.
She bugging.
Yeah, Tip fucked up.
That's funny.
All right, man. We got a lot of shit to talk about. First things first, let's go to YG versus Wack 100. Now, YG and Wack 100 had a war of words over the weekend. It came from a post that Wack 100 put up about his artist Blueface, saying, and I quote, "One thing I respect is this. Blueface came in the rap game crippin'. The game came in Pyruin. Mozzie came into it bloodin'. Some of you niggas was wearing skinny jeans and dancing without a gang slogan coming out your mouth until you got money to buy a set." End quote. Now, YG took offense to this post and commented underneath saying, quote, "You should have added me, big gangster OG Pyru Godfather." End quote. Now, the two went back and forth in the comments, YG even accusing Wack of begging to get him on songs. Do you see YG losing credibility after these accusations?
I don't see him losing any credibility. Wack is clearly he's someone that has enough education on it to speak on it. So if you feel like he's in violation somewhere, being an OG Crip blood G nigga that YG was calling him, then that's cool, of course. But I don't think that we're at a point in time where people are going to care if that's the truth or not. YG is not going to be labeled a phony amongst his generation. I've always heard quite the opposite. So it doesn't really matter what people of the generation that Wack and them look at him like, because there are other examples in hip hop of where people have been successful that have done this. You can look at Wayne and Baby. You can look at Chris Brown. You can look at other people who they've said bought sets as well. And I mean, it didn't take anything away from their popularity. I think YG was good in responding to him, even though, I mean, I guess he was talking about YG. It could have been somebody else that he was talking about. But I mean, hey, I get it. YG being funny. Wack ain't really a threat to him. So I mean, if I'm YG, why not step out on the porch and say that and kind of test what he called himself trying to do and talking code? If I'm YG though, I don't feel threatened by this at all, and it don't test my legacy at all, because like he said, I go way deeper than what you know about me.
Yeah.
OG gangster.
And that's the thing. First of all, judging by YG's comment, was he being serious or was he being funny?
He was being funny.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. But then they ended up going back and forth.
But no, he was being funny in a sarcastic, like fuck you type of way though. Like, oh my bad, OG Crip gangster blood.
Okay.
Nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, he's being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing to answer the question, do I see this him losing credibility? Absolutely not. That ship has sailed. YG is YG at this point. He's in too deep for anybody to kind of question that. We're past anybody caring at this point. It reminds me of Rick Ross with the CO shit. Yeah. If YG has a hit tomorrow, no one will give a shit about whether he bought his way into a set or anything that can't necessarily be proven. Then no one will care. This generation doesn't give a shit about that. They was crowning Tekashi this time last year as being OG Pyru Godfather. So none of that shit matters. It is very interesting. Now, the video that he was referring to, people thought was the YG Tooted and Booted song that was his kind of first hit.
Right.
And if you go back and look at it, though, it's not what he's describing. So YG might have jumped the gun a little bit, and the hit dog may have hollered for no reason, because that's not what that video doesn't look like. Like, it's just like a regular little video. He's even got all red on in that video in one of the scenes. So I'm not sure what he was talking about. Wack did dare somebody to say something in the caption, so maybe that's what provoked YG to kind of be sarcastic and be a dickhead and try to say something. But this doesn't do anything for his credibility, man. This will be here today and go tomorrow.
Wack had the same problem as well with Tupac. That was his whole thing with Tupac as well. Like you were a fake gangster. That's what him and Mike Tyson allegedly got to fighting for.
Right.
Like Wack has his problem as far as people appropriating gang culture in LA anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like YG like.
Yeah, I think I don't think this bothers YG at all. I also don't think YG doesn't strike me as a fraud either. Mm-hmm. And we don't hear so many great things about Wack, especially lately. So I mean, it's like, come on, like, okay, what do you gain from this? It was no point of it.
This is Wack taking up for his artist, Blueface. That's all he was doing. I mean, that was the whole purpose.
I don't even think he was taking up for his artist. I think this is how Wack remains popular in a generation that don't care about that gang shit. Yeah. Like, he continuously forcing his way into the stratosphere by like the Mike Tyson shit, where he allegedly the fake fight that they had, and now even with this throwing it out there, I feel like that he knew somebody was gonna take the bait, and it just happened to be YG. This is just Wack trying to stay relevant.
Yeah,
I feel like this is the only way. If I'm Blueface, man, this is the only way that I can stay relevant. Blueface done went a bit of a lull here. You know what I mean? Like, this is how I stay in the media, in the news, and YG just bit on that shit.
Yeah, I don't even think he would. There's so many other people that he could have been talking about. Like, the first person I thought of when I read it was Chris Brown. That was the first person I thought he was talking about.
I thought he was talking about Wayne.
Nah, man.
But his first video wasn't skinny jeans and shit, though.
No,
like, that wouldn't have fit the...
Wack knew what he was doing, man, when he did this.
What, he probably had some beef. You think he was talking about YG?
Yes.
They probably had some beef bubbling beforehand then.
Then why now?
Because just say relevant. You just said it.
Yeah.
And you got an artist out. You want to keep, him in the new.
Yeah, because he's heard them new records and he heard that they ain't hitting on shit.
All right, so here's a question that poses from that, guys. Being that no one cares anyway about the gangster shit, do you see that stuff phasing out? Like, Blueface came and went. Nobody cares if YG so gangster anymore. Like, the whole gangster persona, is that phasing out of hip hop now?
No, I don't think no one cares, as you imply. I think people still care.
People still care?
I think there's a small pocket of people who care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, bro, you could have pictures of YG tomorrow in a fucking ballerina outfit, bro. Nobody's gonna care, bro.
Well, I mean, like, okay, for instance,
not gonna kill.
For instance, I seen YBN Corday interview on Breakfast Club.
Yep.
Struck me as a very nice guy, cool kid, grew up, used to work at Chili's. That wouldn't have been able to be a #1 album in hip hop like 10 years ago.
You can thank Kid Cudi and Drake and people like that and Kanye,
right?
For the everyday average dude.
Gotcha. So is that no longer? You used to couldn't get that through now.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
You can thank them.
You can get it through without being gangster.
100%.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, there's lanes.
Yeah.
There's a large community of people who relate way more to YB and Corday than
I think
YG.
you just got to own up to it.
Yeah,
like you can't be out
be
here
yourself.
That's it.
You just got to own up to it.
That's it. You don't got to be fucking
can't be Tupac.
Vanilla Ice saying you from one place and you really
say
not.
You can say it. You can't be Tupac.
Let's not be disrespectful.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, let's not be disrespectful.
I don't know what that means. You can't be Tupac. What they said that Tupac was not from the West Coast, originally from the East Coast, wasn't gang banging, but then became a gang banger. Everything that they try to criticize Tupac now, you can't be that.
No, you don't need to be that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't even think it was. Well, that's a different conversation. But yeah, Pac was just Pac.
Yeah.
He was a walking contradiction, but it's all it is.
It's true.
That's a fact. And we're gonna get to that a little bit later too. Don't worry about it.
At some point.
Let's talk Drake. Let's go north of the border, man. Drake has had a busy year making moves outside of the booth, inking 2 deals in recent weeks that promise you'll be hearing and seeing even more of him in the future. He signed a creative partnership deal with Sirius XM Pandora, formerly Sirius XM Radio, that will include a dedicated station, curated music, and collaborations with creative talent. There was a second deal that he signed with LeBron and his Uninterrupted media company. It's called Uninterrupted Canada, which will produce, quote, athlete-driven content, events, and merchandise. Which of these 2 deals is a bigger deal?
The one with Sirius. I mean, just because there are other big artists that already have done this, Taylor Swift, just not in the hip-hop lane, but it's been done before, and to have this done, creating a whole channel where you have that look, that's a very big look. Not to say that the LeBron interrupted thing is, but everybody doesn't watch sports. Damn near Sirius is going to be in everyone's radio in some form of way on your phone. So that's going to last a long time. But I think Drake has came to that point where everything is a big look, though. Not even one being bigger than the other. Whether I'm showing up at the game at the finals or I'm re-releasing old music and it going #1, it doesn't matter. He's reached the rare air in his career as an entertainer that, like, anything that I do, I can't go wrong unless I blatantly offend somebody important.
Yeah.
Like, I think that he's in that rare air, so it really don't matter what he do now. It's almost like a Sean Kemp dunk for him. Like, it don't matter. If Drake's name is on it, it's definitely going to go through this nowadays.
Yeah, he's definitely got the Midas touch right now. I think #1, he's what Jay did in terms of working his kind of popularity outside of the booth early on. He was the blueprint for that, for rappers.
Yeah,
Drake is rewriting that blueprint because he's doing it now in his prime. And these deals, so the Sirius XM station, I'm not sure if it'll be like all just his music, kind of like how they got like a Beatles station.
Curated artist.
Okay, so here's the thing, because Eminem has Shade 4-5.
Right.
LL Cool J has a Sirius radio station. So if that's been done before, not to say that's not a big deal, because there's only 2 people that do it. So it's still a big deal, but I think the Uninterrupted Canada joint is a huge deal because LeBron, now you're tied in with LeBron, who has his hands in movies, television. Like, you're 1 inch away from having the #1 film in the box office, next weekend. If you're a Drake, he's already behind Euphoria on HBO, which is now a hit show, and they've already signed on for season 2.
Fantastic
LeBron
show.
or Drake?
Drake.
Oh, okay.
He's behind that. So what he's doing this year with not even really being on the scene musically, but still being ultra relevant, is crazy this year. I'm still sticking to my theory that he does not drop an album this year, because we're not counting what just came out last week as an album. Those were obviously Lucy's that came out within the last 10 years. I don't think he does a solo album this year. I'm still sticking to that. And the fact that he is this relevant in the summertime with no record out is bananas.
This is the perfect time too, though. Like, you could argue that he's even hotter last year. Like, coming into June when he was about to drop his album, or when the last time he dropped, he's even hotter now. Hasn't really done anything to get that hot. So imagine if he hit the button.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if an album's done, and one of those like around September when it's just starting to get cold, and you got one of those Ross and Drakes coming out, like, it'll be over.
Yeah.
For the rest of the fourth quarter, Drake would rule that. So I think an album still may come out.
Any of these a big deal, little deal, no deal, twin? What you think?
I mean, they're both big deals. I'll speak more to the LeBron deal because there's more coverage. The Sirius deal hasn't really been discussed in detail. But the LeBron deal is big not only for Drake but also LeBron because it's the first international expansion for LeBron's company.
That's true.
So I think it's a bigger deal for the LeBron because it's a minority business setting precedent for something that's going to be bigger in the future.
Who's more famous worldwide in your guys' eyes, LeBron or Drake?
LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay. And he been doing it longer too. He been out since 2004. He been famous for longer.
You can go to Asia and everybody knows LeBron.
I agree.
Y'all got Drake
Definitely
fucked up though.
agree.
Listen, Drake is quietly approaching, and I said this before, when it's all said and done, GOAT status.
Yeah, nobody asked that question though.
No, GOAT status. When it's all said and done,
He's coming for Michael Jackson.
GOAT of music.
Wait,
He's coming for Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Wait, don't.
He's gonna be the top pop R&B person.
Don't do that.
Once it's
Let's not
over.
be
Like,
disrespectful.
He's gonna be #1 in that lane.
Let's not be
R&B.
disrespectful. He's gonna be #1 in the music lane.
Michael Jackson's.
Fuck.
It's Michael Jackson's lane.
Let's talk young glasses Malone.
Been shaking it here lately.
Glasses has, hey, listen, 2 weeks removed, and we're still talking about the Tupac Must Die video.
Controversial fella.
During his stop at the Breakfast Club, G. Malone continued to defend his music video, which we all agree was fire. None of us looked at it like, oh, what is he doing?
Good.
We thought it was dope. But he tacked on some more controversial opinions. For one, he gave Ross what seemed like a backhanded compliment by calling him top 5, then naming off things about him that were fantasy, implying that his persona was made up. And then 2, he said Snoop was a bigger star than Pac and that Snoop basically helped blow Pac up. Which one of these was more egregious?
I think the Ross part was because it's not far-fetched to say that Snoop was a bigger star than Pac, especially once he broke it down to it and how he recruited Pac over there and who everyone was talking about with the Murder Was a Case trial and all the stuff that surrounded Pac. I mean, Snoop had the movie out. I think with what he was saying about Ross, though, the backhanded compliment, as you put it, in my opinion, it kind of paints a picture of why Glasses Malone is here and why we're talking about him more so for the headlines and what he says as opposed to his music. What struck me in the comparison himself to Rick Ross is saying that I got to do these things because Rick Ross lied in his music. When y'all are not even the same type of rappers, like that's slick.
He said gangster
rap. He said gangster
rappers.
rappers. That's not a point. That's not what Rick Ross is. And if Glasses Malone gonna compare himself to Rick Ross as far as gangster rap, then that's why you not as successful as Rick Ross. I don't think that Rick Ross caters to a gangster rap crowd. His is a more luxury trap rap type of crowd. It ain't really gangster rap. White people would say that, or people that are outside of the culture would call all of that gangster rap with a sweeping brush, as he did. He knows that him and Rick Ross are not in the same lane. They ain't competing for the same fans. It ain't nothing that Rick Ross does is going to affect Glasses Malone career. So I feel like that was lazy for him to say, oh, well, because Rick Ross do this, I can't do this, or the third. Like, that's definitely not true, especially in today, how we just explained all you more so have to be is yourself.
Right.
So you can't say that Rick Ross did this and now I got to come here and put my nuts on the table. He said on Brilliant Idiots podcast that last year the most gangster songs that came out were by Drake and Cole. He's like, oh, the songs that they had, they were talking about killing niggas and this and then. I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah, he
like you reaching, like it's doing too much.
Yeah,
so
he tripping.
That's what I thought.
I'll say this: Glasses Malone was reaching on both of these statements, although he has a point with the Ross persona thing. There was no need for him to bring that up. Like, I get it. You're on Breakfast Club. You've got 15 minutes. You got to milk this for what it's worth to keep people talking about you. Bruh, the reason why nobody is talking about you in the same vein as Rick Ross is because Rick Ross makes better music than you. Period.
That's not the point. Y'all missing this completely.
That's it. Now, that's not to say that, yes, you have a point. Rick Ross is wearing clothes, and he's wearing designer clothes that aren't made in his size.
Facts.
He's wearing a zillion dollars worth of jewelry, if you know about gold. Let's be honest.
Facts.
Everyone is wearing designer clothes, and everyone is wearing a zillion dollars worth of jewelry, dog. He is not the only culprit in that. So that's a rap thing in general. So you have beef with pretty much everyone who's successful, not name you.
And Ross didn't make that popular either.
But he didn't say he had beef at all.
But Rick Ross isn't the one that made that popular. You can't attach that to someone's name and be like, well, you're the reason, and now I got to abide by these rules when we sit here and just said that those rules don't apply anymore. So how would Glasses Malone apply those rules to him and Rick Ross when we clearly just said they don't apply anymore?
He was 100% correct in everything he said. And everything he said was accurate because he's right. I don't know if y'all I read this GQ article about Rick Ross maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
It was a great article, and it really showed you the inside of how he really thinks. And he know it's a charade. And that's what the GQ article is everything Glasses Malone was talking about. The writer said it's excess of this gold around his neck or the excess of trying to have these designer clothes with these amount of women. Like, he does it because Ross, that's his persona. Rick Ross to me is like a wrestler. He has a persona.
I understand that.
So in Glasses' point, everybody who listened to Glasses, not everybody who listened to Rick Ross listened to Glasses, but everybody listening to Glasses listened to Rick Ross. That's a fact.
No, absolutely not. He's a West Coast rapper. There are guys on the West Coast that will ride for that are going to listen to that style of music, that prefer that cadence to a Rick Ross.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You saying
a Glasses fan wouldn't necessarily listen to Ross?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. Can I talk?
Go ahead.
I said, pay attention. Every Glasses Malone's fan, 9 times out of 10, listen to Rick Ross as well. That's a fact. So
I didn't just say that.
You didn't.
No, you said something. You said the reverse.
The opposite.
Yeah, you said the reverse.
But anyway, so my whole thing is he is right when he says his fans are also watching Rick Ross because they are. And Rick Ross is a walking movie. He's not real. He's right. They don't make these clothes in his size. These are custom. Like this. Come on, man.
But the point is, everyone has an image.
No, but Rick Ross. But what he's saying is Rick Ross is to the 20th power with it, and he is. He is one of the He is with the way he is overall. 2 Chainz in with just the way he dresses. It's like It's like you have to look like this. Be this way.
No, you don't though. That's the thing.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You have to do that if you're trying to follow someone. Kendrick Lamar doesn't try to be like Rick Ross. J. Cole doesn't try to be like Kendrick Lamar. Drake doesn't try to be like Big Sean. My point, and to Glasses and Malone point, if he's chasing what Rick Ross is doing, then he's never going to be able to get in that lane because Rick Ross is already there. I wouldn't think that people that listen to Glasses Malone that are from his hood that like the West Coast cadence and the style of rap would necessarily listen to Rick Ross as well. I feel like that's a more underground type of style. People that tend to listen to underground rappers like Glasses Malone usually don't like the mainstream stuff that Rick Ross does from what I've seen. From what I've seen. Maybe not to you. But to my point, what I would say is if he's chasing Rick Ross, like I say, then you're not going to be able to get that crowd. So even bringing it up, to your point, is a backhanded compliment.
No, it was 100% a backhanded compliment though, saying, "Oh, this guy is in my top 5, but everything about him is fake." That's what he said.
But he's right.
But that's a backhanded compliment.
It might be a backhanded compliment, but he's right.
What was the purpose?
Because
to remain relevant for 10 more minutes?
No, see, that's the thing. See, this is why people real like Leslie Malone has a problem getting to certain audiences like yourself. Because he said he made a real comment and people are taking it as if it's not true. It's true because they asked him a question and he was saying this is because of, he gave an example. He said, if I'm in his lane, it doesn't matter if you think Rick Ross rap better than him, has more fans. That's not his point. His point is that my fans are like, listen to Rick Ross as well. And this is what I'm up against. And
that's fair. But I understand that it's just
a real answer.
So who all in the Rick Ross and Glasses and Malone lane?
I mean, it's a lot of people.
Like it's Kendrick Lamar in that lane. I don't understand who all was in the lane.
Like a Jeezy.
Luke, come on.
Yeah, just the street rap shit, bro.
Street rap is
not on the lower level broke nigga street rap. But
that ain't what Glasses Malone do either. He makes controversial, like more lyrical music and that's geared towards like different, like stuff that's in current events. Like he talking about stuff like that. Rick Ross is never even touching that.
To the average
so if
consumer,
I'm a Glasses Malone
they're
fan,
the same fan. You listen to this shit more than everybody else. To the average consumer, they're the same thing.
That's like me. I have Migos.
Right. So we're not talking about the average consumer. We're talking about someone that would go buy a Glasses Malone album. The person that goes to buy a Glasses Malone album doesn't care what Rick Ross is doing. So why would Glasses Malone care what Rick Ross is doing?
I think
they do care.
What he was saying was that if, like he said, he gave the example about Jay getting $1 billion. If you're looking at 2 artists in the same field and you're celebrating your $1 million deal and Jay is celebrating his $500 million deal, your $1 million deal looks like shit compared to that, even if you're not necessarily quote unquote going against Jay directly.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's kind of what he was saying.
That's all he was saying.
But it was still a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, it was. But that's all he was saying. He was right though.
And it was unnecessary.
He was right.
I don't agree with that.
It was unnecessary. But the shit he said about Ross was
true.
right.
Why you acting like it's not true?
His persona is exaggerated and over the top, and that's what makes it appealing. Yeah. Period. Like the fucking bank account skit. Everybody was talking about the bank account skit.
It's like Hulk Hogan. He's like a wrestler.
He's an artist. I mean, you're supposed to.
Just saying.
You're supposed to, dog.
No, you're not. There's plenty of artists who have no out of this world persona like Rick Ross.
Yeah. But no, they have personas.
Yeah, they do. But I'm just saying he's over the top.
Yeah, that's fair. I know Noriega.
Everybody has 2 legs, but that's news.
But that's how he gets his. That's how he gets his.
Nobody's disputing that.
And then if Glasses gets his by doing stuff like Tupac Must Die, that's like a nigga coming in there and saying, "Well, you make controversial pieces like Tupac Must Die to get attention." Like that's the same. It's the exact same thing. So why would he blame Ross?
He did do it to get attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you blaming Ross for doing the same thing on a higher level?
Why do you keep saying he's blaming him? He's not blaming him. He's just giving an example of what he has to compete. That's not a blame.
That is a blame, in my opinion. It's to be like, well, what? The reason that I'm not as successful as him is because I don't do that. That's what he said.
He said because I don't do that, but it's not a personal attack against Ross.
It just seemed like it though, bro.
Yeah.
If you were Ross, how would you feel about that comment, bro?
I mean, I'd laugh. I mean, what can you do? It's a funny. He's right.
Stop.
If I'm a real nigga, I'd be like, he's right.
If Ross goes on Breakfast Club this week and they don't ask him about that, I'm boycotting all media.
Ross ain't gonna respond to that because he's gonna be like, well, who is Glass and Malone?
That's where he's gonna go.
That's the persona. That's Rick Ross. Like, who is it?
But
Rick Ross even not
exactly.
But here's the thing, though. We've talked about this most recently. He's backed off of the super gangster persona. We've just talked about this for the last 2 years. He's been taking himself less seriously, doing like different podcasts and stuff. He hasn't been taking himself as serious as he did when he first came out. So when they ask, first of all, that need to be the first fucking question when he goes on Breakfast Club. Charlamagne better be there. Watch this be the day this nigga on vacation. I don't want to hear none of that shit. They better ask dude, because I got to hear it answer.
Rick Ross going to gloss right over that. Like, I 1,000,000% think he going to be like, who?
That's going to let me down if he do that. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, well,
that's where he going to be at with it.
This Glass and Malone is milking this, though. He's doing
you
a
got
great
to.
job.
If
Definitely
you're him.
going to listen to this album now.
I mean, yeah, a smart dude, though. I listened to him on the Brilliant Idiots podcast. They had some good conversation about different things. He's a smart dude. I just don't think that this was... He wasn't accurate what he said.
Oh, he was 100%.
Real quick though, do you think Pac was blown up because of Snoop? You think Snoop was bigger than Pac?
At a time, yes.
93 to 96 was his time frame.
It's close. It's very close. Snoop was a mega star.
Yeah, but like to Charlamagne's point that he mentioned that Madonna and shit was fucking with Pac and they weren't showing up to Snoop's courts.
They were scared of Snoop though. That's why they thought Snoop was a gangster for real.
Snoop was.
You know what I'm saying? Like Snoop was a gangster for real. Pac was more Hollywood. Like,
bro, these Pac days got to stop, bro. You got this your second time, man.
Fam, don't try to paint me as no Pac hater. Like, of course he would be more.
Time.
I'm just saying he would be more comfortable with those people hanging out with Madonna and stuff like that.
All right,
he was more. That's
a backhanded compliment. That's the nature of a backhanded compliment.
Hey man, shoot me the same bell you shoot glasses.
Nah, man,
do that, my guy. That's what you do.
No.
Moving on, before we get to this music break, we've got 2 hip-hop veterans debuting TV shows in the coming months. Angie Martinez has a new show, Untold Stories of Hip-Hop, coming to WeTV, which will, you guessed it, showcase untold, never-before-heard stories of some of our favorite hip-hop stars. And Puff is bringing back Making the Band. Of course, that was the popular MTV series from a couple of years ago. Which one of these, if any, is must-see TV?
Man, at first I was gonna say the Angie stuff because Angie, she does great interviews. Like that would be almost something new, but it would be telling, of course, old stories because they would have to already had happened. Right. I just want to see some new blood. I don't mind who or what does it, but I don't need Puff to make the band again. I just want new stuff about hip hop. Hip hop is we sit here and we say it on a weekly basis, the most consumed music that there is. There are a lot more TV shows that can happen based off of hip hop other than Making the Band and more interview shows. Like that's not what it's all about. There are other opportunities there for us to make more diverse television, to give even more aspects of hip-hop, to make it even more expandable to the mainstream. And I assume that's what they're trying to do. Right. I feel like it's lazy and kind of comfortable for Puff on his end to be like, well, shit, ain't nothing else work for Revolt. I'll go do Making the Band again because that pops. Try something new, put some faith and give some other people ideas. That's what hip hop is about. And I think that they should try some new stuff. Not saying that I'm not excited to see Angie talk to people because like I said, she is probably the best at what she does and that will be good, entertaining television. But if I were pressed and they were asking me to make the decision, I would try to find new formats, new things, new ideas that evolved and surrounded hip hop.
Well, I think the Untold Stories is supposed to be a new idea, so to speak, because that's not a rehash. Now, you definitely have a point with the Diddy joint. He's done several seasons of Making the Band, and actually some of them weren't even hip hop related. Mm-hmm. So we don't even necessarily know what this one is going to be. Mm-hmm. I get tired of the sequels and the rehashes and the reboots. I get tired of that too, but hip hop is still relatively young as a music genre, period, especially as a TV content piece. So it's very young in that aspect. So they're going to go with what has worked already. But I'm here for both, more so the Puff than the Angie Martinez, just because it's on WeTV. I don't know what that's gonna look like. What is
fuck
is on WeTV?
Yeah, and that was gonna be my whole thing. I think Puff is gonna be have a larger impact because this is on WeTV, and like you just asked, where is WeTV?
What is that?
What else on WeTV?
They have like some like crime shows. I think sometimes about
like snapped and shit.
Yeah, like,
I mean, but y'all gotta be honest. If she interviewing Drake, y'all gonna find weed.
She's not. Well, no. But I'm saying she's not necessarily interview. Well, she's behind it, like showrunner shit, and they'll have. I think they're reenacting stories that have apparently never been told before. So you'll be learning some new shit. I mean,
they're doing drink champs sober.
I don't know. It's not like an interview based thing.
No, it's
like
not. No.
It's not. I think it should be reenactments, like a Snapped or something of that nature.
And then in this day and age, I mean, people much rather
like Drunken History, something like that. Have y'all ever seen that?
No,
never seen that.
Never heard of it.
Gotcha.
Like in this day and age,
like what?
Like people will much rather see like making a band. They want to connect. So people definitely want to see a reality as opposed to something that happened in the past.
Let's be clear though, making a band was a shit though.
Yeah, that's my point.
That motherfucker was a shit.
It's gonna succeed.
And then making a band album with Slick's banging though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just
that album was Slick banging.
Yeah, it was.
And that Day 26 was banging too. I'm interested to see what he does. I don't know if he's gonna do rap though. I think he'll do like some pop shit like he did with
learned from last time he went to rap.
Like Danny D. Kane or some shit. I think he's gonna go to that well.
I mean, how much energy is Puff Daddy gonna put into that? He made the shows too.
This is true.
Do we expect the same like type of?
You got to.
Yes,
he should be re-energized. He hasn't done anything in the last 2 years.
He's 10 years older than he was.
This
is
true.
Doing this, you know what I'm saying? How much screaming on a nigga Puff gonna do at this age, right?
Still got it in him.
Brother Love, ain't he Brother Love?
That's over with.
Over with.
Yeah,
Brother Love got it here.
Yeah, he got
that
it
was quick
for this TV check.
Shit. Brother
He
Love
back to the old him.
Brother Love didn't get enough checks in coming in, huh?
Nah. Let's get to this music break, man. First joint, what you got for us, sir?
Yes, Rapsody is back. She is back with a new project coming up. This one it's gonna be tough to pronounce, but it's called Abitaha, and that's featuring D'Angelo and Jizza. Check it out, Rapsody.
We are back. That was Rapsody with a song I will not try to pronounce. How you feel about that, sir?
I wanted to like that so bad. And then Jizza or RZA or Jizza came in and just made it even harder for me to like. I feel like it was a rough song to like. I just wish that Rapsody would kind of dumb it down a little bit. Her project it's a bit overzealous, following up Layla's Wisdom and that kind of To Pimp a Butterfly type sound that she had with that one.
Right.
I liked it, but I understand why it didn't go as commercial as she would have liked it.
No.
And I think following that up with this, while you have a Hot Girl Summer going on, not saying that she would have to join it, but at least come outside and play with us. The rest of the kids
I can't
that are
believe
having,
you just said that.
the rest of the kids that are having fun.
Right.
I wish she would do that, kind of like just dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah, this songs like this are the reason she doesn't get mentioned by people.
Oh my God. She gets mentioned by rap heads.
Rapsody is dope. This song is ass. I can't do nothing with this. Where am I going with this? If I walked into a boutique and they were playing this, I'm taking my money elsewhere. If I walked into a restaurant and they were playing this, I'm going to eat someplace else. I am dipping from anywhere, any establishment that this is being played. The song was some slaw. Rapsody is dope. This song is some slaw.
Especially the Jizza feature was a real reach.
We can't tell that you think she's dope by these
She's
responses.
super dope. Beauty and the Beast is banging.
But first of all, I mean, I like this record. I think it's something different especially in the time of a Hot Girl Summer. I'm glad we get another woman's perspective. I don't think all women should be painted with a broad stroke just to play one type of music for women. So I like this record. Her new project is every track is supposed to be named after a prominent woman of color. So I love that. So this first person was Abitaha Muhammad. She was the American fencer and bronze medalist at the 2016 Olympic Games. So I like what she's doing.
Listen.
It
doesn't matter, dude. The song is ass.
Overzealous.
Okay, like I said, she was the first female Muslim American to get a medal at the Olympics, and I love that she's bringing another perspective to rap because people like Rapsody are needed in this time of rap for sure.
I like the balance. It's just the song not good.
No, I like the song a lot. Charlotte Knife Wonder, he's a beast, and it was a sample from Jizza from the classic Liquid Swords. Yeah, so it was dope. I loved it, but I mean, to each his own.
That wasn't nothing.
Nah, shit trash.
Real hip hop lives only behind the boards, obviously.
How'd you come across this song?
It was just searched. It's her lead. It's her next
Her single.
Lead up to her new project. Yeah.
And this new project going to be scary.
Her last one was a classic.
I wasn't fucking
Layla's
with
Wisdom.
that.
Classic
Dang,
album.
That shit wasn't nothing.
See what I'm saying?
That lady would miss me with that Layla's Wisdom.
You know what I'm
Layla's
saying?
Wisdom's
Don't worry, Real Hip Hop. I
banging.
got y'all. Don't worry.
All right, now look, we got a topic today, and we'll be giving props to someone later on in this episode who threw us the oop on this dope ass topic. But it was a very good question, so it got us thinking: who has had the better 3-album run? It's easy for somebody to come out with one fire album. That's simple to do. You could also argue that several people have been able to pull off the back-to-back. But it's rare when you get somebody who has dropped 3 consecutive fire-ass albums in a row. And that can be in any order. It doesn't have to be their first 3. It doesn't have to be their last 3. It can be in any consecutive order. So I've got 3 people. Y'all have 3 people. Kick this one off, Lou. Give me an artist who you think has had a dope-ass 3-album run.
Off the bat, first person that came to my mind, may surprising to some people, but
Okay.
I was a big fan of the first 3 artists, and I would argue with you sometimes that he hadn't missed in his first 3 albums.
It should be good.
He's came back strong here lately. I'm going to
Webby.
go with Jim Jones.
Oh,
I'm going to go with Jim
Oh my God, if it was
Jones.
Webby, I'd have walked out.
On my way to church,
fire.
Harlem of a Diary of a Summer.
Whoa.
Harlem Diary of a Summer.
There we go.
And The Hustler's Pony. All 3 of those albums are phenomenal by Jim Jones, if I say this the least, especially coming from his background. We knew Jimmy as Cam's hype man. We knew Jimmy for being the B man and Dipset, not really the rapper. So that's really what On My Way to Church really surprised me. I didn't think it would be that good at all. Not saying that Jimmy barring you down or anything like that, but it's good music, especially coming from Jim Jones, and he kept the Dipset thing going, while they were at their prominence, giving Cam somebody else to throw the ball to while Cam was chilling. So, On My Way to Church, Harlem Diary of a Summer, Hustler's Pony, Jim Jones. We had Ballin' in there. We had Harlem, all of that good shit. So, and we had
Summer in Miami.
Summer in Miami, and on the first one we had the remake of the Eazy-E, Real Motherfucking Gangsters. Or
Oh, that was hard.
So each one of them, he was able to come out with a hit. Each one of them, he was able to be relevant for the album. So that's what I'll go with.
I like Jim Jones, and I really like that On My Way to Church. I can actually listen to that right now, despite that's probably his
Song
least
with T.I.
lyrical.
banging, yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, he got
He was
better
stringing
over
it-
time.
He was stringing it together on that.
Yeah, he was. He
Yeah,
was.
oh my God.
Yeah, he was struggling just a
it was
little bit.
rough. It was some struggle bars on that.
Rough around the edges. I would say back then, because he wasn't even the second guy in charge. It was Jewels.
But that's what made it good, though. And
Yeah.
he was Capo. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, he
was
was
still
Capo.
second in charge. It was Jewels may have been the better rapper.
That's what I mean.
But,
Easily.
that On My Way to Church, I feel like, not to cut you out, but the
Too late.
rough around the edges part is what made it that good.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of like gritty. You know what I'm saying? And I fucked with it. He was like the Draymond of the
I give you
of
that.
Dipset
That's a good comparison.
back then.
Wasn't T.I. on the album?
Yeah.
Yeah, that album's
Song was
fire.
That
too.
song was hard. I remember
Now
that.
the next 2, Reach God, because those are just some little cool.
And that Harlem Diary of a Summer, he was in his bag.
He got some heat on there.
He was dissing Jade, like you couldn't
That's
tell
where he fucked
Jim
up.
nothing there. He was smacking niggas' koofies off their head.
Yeah,
that was prime Jim Jones, nigga. I was there for that.
He was feeling himself.
Yeah, I don't know about
Let's
that.
go.
But to be fair, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Run that back.
Is that better?
And Max B on there too, heavy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Max B wrote probably half of
He
this.
probably did. That's why I still bang it today, to this day.
shit. Is that better than his last
To
2?
this day. Yeah. That ain't nothing. Neither one of those last 2 that he dropped better than any one of these 3. That's how good these 3
His
are.
last album? He just
These
dropped?
last 2 that he
Oh
dropped
my
are not
God.
better than either one of those 3.
That's where you fucked up.
I'm telling you
You
that
might
for
have
a
had
fact.
people riding with you until
but
then.
telling you
until
that
then,
for a
bro. I
fact.
think his last album was his best album he ever made.
Nah,
Ooh.
absolutely
No,
not.
that's a fact.
Hot take.
It's one of these 3,
No.
actually.
I gotta go back. You know what? This weekend I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run back. I'm gonna run these
Run
them
Jimmys
other
back.
2 that you mentioned in that 3. I'm gonna run them
Yes.
back because it's been a long time. Yeah, you reached with that one. Now,
Oh my God.
I'll wait till you hear my last one.
for my artist first go round, the best 3-album run, I'm gonna go DMX out the gate. It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, same year, and then there was X. 3 for 3 out the gate, 1998, 1999. DMX was on fire. Fire. Covers of magazines, movies. He was probably the hottest person popping at that time. He was the anti-shiny suit man. He was gritty. That first album, he was broke. You could tell. You know way you could listen to
that's
it.
a classic album. Man.
That album is fire.
Oh my God,
that's a classic
amazing
debut album. Yeah. I think DMX has one of the. Listen, look at the numbers: 4.6 million on that first one, 3.4 on the second one, 4.9 on the third one. He was the shit, people. Yeah. For all my 90s babies out here that may have missed that DMX wave and have only seen him lately.
Y'all ain't missed nothing.
You missed a lot of shit.
What?
That was 10.
Man,
that was 11 million albums of sales that you missed, and there was a reason for it. That
DMX
was popping.
On fire.
Nah, he was on fire, and those projects are dope. I do feel like
the third one's a little.
The third one is banging.
What is
and
that?
then
Flesh of my
X?
flesh.
No.
Oh, then there was X. That's the best one.
No.
That's the only one you can go back and listen to.
That's got what
today.
these bitches want from it. Like, that album
that's
fire.
No, it
they
has
got
that, but
fire.
The first.
He got the song we was talking to the dude, the little boy.
That's
same
Damien.
old shit, dog.
That's
just
the first
no,
album.
I'm not talking about that.
Not Damien.
Same old shit, dog. Just a different day.
Yeah, when he talking to the kid.
Yeah, you know how we do the games that we play when we play.
Nah, y'all tripping.
right
The
there.
first
might
album
be.
is his best album easily.
Man, y'all want to talk about struggle bars? Go back and listen to them DMXs.
Are you
tell me ain't no
serious?
struggle bars
Are you
on there. Niggas get the DMX a pass because y'all fell in love with them 3 albums. I'm here to let y'all know it's not the biggest DMX fan. You're gonna be let down, buddy.
You clearly.
I
not
tried
a
to
big
run
fan.
it back too. Now that first one, okay, it's gritty. I give you the same thing with that we gave Jim Jones, but that second one, nah.
His first-
Because I remember how good that second one was. That flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, and I tried to go back
Fire.
and listen to it like I used to, and it wasn't enough.
What?
It was
These
not-
albums
it
are
was
killing
not
Jim
there.
Jones albums.
Absolutely,
All
not.
of them.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you.
Absolutely
This is
not.
crazy.
Hold
I can
on.
listen to that Jim Jones tonight.
Slipping.
Yeah, that was banging.
Nigga, Blackout with Hove and the Locks.
Thank
Okay.
you. The song with Drag On.
Fire.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Mary J.
Mary J.
The best song on there is probably the song with Marilyn Manson.
No, it's not. I'm hot
He was
about
killing
Nah, the
that.
best song on there was Jay and the Locks, and all 12 of them niggas bodied it.
DMX had the worst verse on that song.
it, bro. You
Come on,
you,
man.
Bro, the hate
DMX
is
had the
real,
worst
bro.
verse on that song.
The
Did he
hate is
not with the
real.
Locks and Jay?
The hate is real, boy.
Sheik Luch had a better verse than him.
No, he
on
did
there.
not.
X and J were toe to
Toe
toe.
to toe,
Bruh.
On what planet?
bro. Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead ass
DMX
serious.
is a hell of a rapper. You a trip.
He
gotta
may
move
have
on.
been. He may have been.
We got to move on.
He has a classic album.
That's fine. Bro, I mean, I'm not knocking any of that.
2
I'm
in
just
1
telling
year.
y'all what it
I don't
is.
know. He tripping.
All right, man. What's your next one?
Take y'all to the city, ATL, Georgia.
It should be good.
The King. The Kang. I'm serious. Classic debut album.
Whoa.
Trap music, classic album.
That's classic.
And Urban Legend
This is really
may
good.
be the best of those 3 commercially.
Okay.
So you talking about out of the gate, and like I said, I was waiting on T.I. when this came out. As far as I'm serious, I seen the video on Rapsody. I was a fan following the single of I'm Serious, so I went and bought this, and I was a big T.I. fan since day one. I bought all of these albums the day they came out. That's how long I've been a big T.I. fan, and I think that he was consistently in his bag, especially by the time that he got to Urban Legend. I think he could have made a hit in his sleep then. The jail stint totally threw him off. This is when people was calling him the Jay-Z of the South.
Yeah.
This is when people were comparing him to the next big thing, and when people were saying the South couldn't rap, he was the one that came through with these 3 albums and busted the door down for people like Big Crit and the other lyrical rappers that you have from the South now. So I'm gonna go with I'm Serious. It came out in 01. Trap Music in 02. And,
03.
Excuse me, Trap Music in 03 and Urban Legend in 04.
Just to remind people on Urban Legend, the first 3 singles were Bring 'Em Out, You Don't Know Me, and ASAP. Fire, and fire. All 3 of those singles went up. And like you said, commercially, he might have the best singles on there. He had Motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like he had some shit on there.
His biggest single was off of King.
Yeah, it was with the for the movie joint. My question is, that first album,
I'm Serious.
does it
some justice.
does it age well? Because
Yes.
he raps infinitely better than he did then. Let's
He's
be
still,
honest.
well, actually, I don't. He raps still well on the first album if you go back and listen to it because, and the reason that I say it holds up is you could tell that he was purposely trying not to be as Southern on that first album. He was doing the different stuff with telling the stories about when he got shot,
Right.
and trying the other things about taking Tupac and Biggie and riding on the devil with the hoes when
For
he got
sure.
robbed.
Angel
Thing.
there.
Yeah,
These nigga robbing me.
Still Ain't Forgave Myself, Hotel. Like all of those songs were a reach for a Southern artist like T.I. at that point in time. Now they everyday running the mill stuff, but I feel like he paved the way for that. He was able to take risk, and that's why that album holds up. Because those songs still hold up. You go back and listen to the D Niggas Robbing Me, the Jack's Moves. You can go back and listen to Hotel
Dope
today.
Boys in the Trap.
Dope Boys Trap today. You can go back and listen to Still Ain't Forgave Myself today, and still get a full feeling of like, okay, this T.I. still 20 years later.
Yeah, and it's funny because T.I. is on my list as well, but not because of I'm Serious. Mine was from trap music to King. So my thing with T.I. in the first album, and I love T.I. first album. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
However, I feel like he was a more polished rapper, especially on trap music, which is his classic to me, and going forward, especially on Urban Legend. You can I think he perfected his flow, especially on Urban Legend. So that's why, because he was so much of a Southern drawl on
I'm Serious.
I'm Serious, that it would, when I would play it to people, because I was in college at the time.
Niggas was hating.
When I would play it to people from different parts, they was like, I like it, but I couldn't, what did he say right here? What did he say? So it's like, it was just so deep on I'm Serious because he was straight off the Bankhead at the time. I remember finding out about him on American Rap Makers back in the day, where Arnell starred, as if y'all know from Atlanta, that's some real shit.
Clearly.
But yeah, so I think he perfected his pocket on Urban Legend, and it peaked at for sure.
At King.
Yeah. I wouldn't say peak.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at either one of those because I'm a fan of all four of those albums. So I could go either way. I'll probably lean toward King over I'm Serious, just a little bit though, just for the fact that his flow was just in his bag at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like he could spit in his sleep on King. Big boy hits on there. What You Know, Live in the Sky, Top Back. Like it just
that's a fact.
Like King was crazy. He just had so much.
People argue he has two classes. King being one in trap music, obviously.
Now you just had to take it too goddamn far. He's got one classic, which is trap music. People.
Urban Legend was close.
Urban Legend was 4.5. Easy.
What?
Very
Urban
close.
Legend wasn't 4.5?
No, it's banging.
When he did the pop flow on that dance song,
It's banging.
The song with Nelly? Come on. And
song
Nelly,
with Nelly.
Nelly ripped it.
Nelly ripped it.
Got 4
man, I
G's.
hear
I got
Nelly on
4
none of y'all
G's and
lists.
5 G's and 1s. Come on, man.
That ain't nothing.
But the pop flow is what I was talking about. He just took the whole flow. That's why T.I. is one of the best rappers.
Hey, Pac has done that a couple times because he did that on
T.I. done that to Pop.
Yeah, he took that Pac flow on. Man, it's another record he did that on. It's like a drama thing, and it was cold how he did it. And he named all the
song.
he named all the Pac titles and shit.
Yeah.
That's I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at either one of y'all for that. I'm gonna go next. I gotta go, and of course, this man right here has an album coming up this week that I can't wait to drop. Very underrated discography in my opinion. Rose, Rick Ross. I've got to go Teflon Don, God Forgives, Mastermind. All three of those today are fucking banging. I could argue Teflon Don is better to a lot of people, but God Forgives is my favorite. And then shout out my guy J-Hove because he told me, he said, hey, and this might have been J-Hove. I might be giving him props for somebody else. This might have been somebody else that told me this. He said, hey, when the last time you listened to that Mastermind? I was like, nigga, it's been a minute. I'm not going to lie. I just thought it was something look cool. He said, run that Mastermind back. Just do me a favor, run that Mastermind back. I said, okay, let me run it back. I had to call back and apologize because that motherfucker is riding.
Is it?
Yes. I said the same thing.
Is it?
I said the same thing until I went back and listened to it. I can't exactly remember what was going on at that time that may have overshadowed it, but that album is fire. It's his 6th album. It's banging. It's got complete heat rock on there. I challenge everyone that is listening, go double back. I know it's been a minute. Drug Dealer's Dream, Mafia Music 3, The Devil Is a Lie with Hove, War Ready with Jeezy.
What year was that?
2014. Sanctified with Big Sean and Ye. Thug Cry with Wayne. It's fire, nigga. Nigga, Blessing in Disguise with Scarface.
That was bang.
Scarface.
Dude, the Richest Gangster, Drug Dealer's Dream. All of those are fire. Everything I just named was fire. The Biggie Flow on Nobody. Bro, y'all serious?
No, that was hard.
The album is banging.
I think the album it's like a B- for me.
That's not true.
Yeah.
No, it's a good album. No, I challenge everybody to double back and listen to that. I think Ross's, again, his discography is underrated. This was his best 3 album run because Hood Billionaire and Black Market, to a certain extent, blew the next 3. So
They definitely did.
I've got to go with this one. Run that back for your boy.
I don't know about that master, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Until you run it back and you come back next week and go, you know
did
what?
Have the best Puff excerpt ever in the history of man.
Yeah, that
Oh my God, on that Nobody?
They put on that Nobody though. I didn't listen to that.
Who was he
tonight.
talking to right there? Los?
Los, yeah.
He had to be.
They said it leaked out that it was Los. That's not that Puff. That ain't the Puff that's gonna be on
That's
Making
the
the
Puff.
Band.
Yes, it
y'all
is.
know that, right?
That's the
That
Puff
ain't
we
that
need
Puff. That's the
on
Puff
that
y'all
fucking
need.
Making
That
the
ain't gonna be
Band.
there. All right, if ain't nobody gonna hold my uncle down, then I got to, man. With
What's your
every
last
one
one?
of these, man. My last one cannot be disputed at all. Master P, Ice Cream Man, Ghetto D, and The Last Don.
You don't even like The Last Don. This nigga just made up some shit.
Like? This nigga's like you don't like The
This nigga
Last
just
Don.
winged it at the very last second, and he's on record saying he don't fuck with Last Don.
We talking about 3 album runs. We talking about Master P and me liking his 3 album run. How you gonna tell me what I don't like, man?
Dude, I can pull up the show.
Wait, tell me what
When
show
you
it
said
is. Tell me what
Last
show
Dawn
it
is
is.
some slaw.
I may have told you that in private, but just like you saying, "Oh, I ran the Mastermind back," I can run Last Don back
That's
and
fair.
appreciate it more today. Now
That's fair.
I ain't had a Last Don conversation with you in how many years?
2.
Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. So like I said, listening to Last Don now and putting it in succession with the other 2 albums, I feel like it was a perfect 3. You come out as an Ice Cream Man, you take it to the Ghetto D, pushing it up a level, and then you retire as the Last Don. I feel like it was a perfect 3 album run. Of course, there was a heavy influence on my early music years, so that's why I picked it as well. Till you guys start hating, making all kind of noises and cutting me off. I could have gave you a lot more information, but feel free. Go ahead,
I
guys.
will say this.
More
As,
information on the album?
go ahead.
as the resident No Limitologist in the building,
Clearly not if you ain't picking these 3 because you don't like
Ice Cream Man is some
Man.
slaw.
No, Ice Cream Man is better than the Last Don and
Now, I would have went Ghetto D, Last Dawn, and Only God Can Judge Me.
nah.
Those
That's
3.
just not true. Ice Cream Man was his breakout album to me. That's the first
a
one
lot
that
of
I
people.
heard and the people that are around my way heard. So that's
for sure.
always gonna have some nostalgia. And if you go back and listen to it for
trash.
that time frame,
trash.
that album can run straight through. He had everything that you were looking for. This is what started the No Limit recipe.
Absolutely.
This is how they formatted all of their albums, and this was the first album that they started to format this way.
That's a fact. With
So-
that being said, it's some slaw.
Trash.
To you
But
guys.
because he's rapping like he's from the West Coast on there, that
He's
that
not,
style
though.
that
But
he's rapping
on,
with
on
doesn't
songs,
translate.
on some songs he is. You're absolutely
Right.
right. He has some of the still 99 Ways to Die flow on there.
That's what I'm saying.
But the complete album is not like that. You have songs like what is it? Break 'Em Out something.
That's
not
a
West.
classic.
That's not a West Coast flow.
Absolutely not.
The song To His Mama, Dear Mama song.
Bout It,
That's
Bout
not
It.
a West Coast flow. I'm Bout It's not a West Coast flow. So I like that, and I feel like it was a perfect little story that he told. We were talking about Ross and the persona that it created. I don't think one has been created better since the Ice Cream Man and what P did. So that's why I picked those 3.
now it's got some bangers on there, but
It's
and that's my
banging.
guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
But Time to Check My Crack House is my shit.
y'all had to be off the porch at that point in time. If y'all wasn't off the
This
porch at that
nigga.
point in time listening to that, I mean, I can't
How
help
old-
y'all.
how old
I'm
were you when that came
sorry.
out?
It doesn't matter how old I am. No matter where I was at when
I
this
wanted to
came
know
out.
when we was off the
like
porch or
Pusha
not.
T said, like Pusha T said, my nigga, where was you when Mxtra brought the Tigers in?
I wanna know where you
I
were.
just want to know where you was when Mxtra brought the Tigers
So
in.
where
my
were
nigga.
you?
Just tell me where you were. But go ahead.
I was here in Atlanta. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, P my boy, but I can't even do this. That's cheating. I can't even have him on here. What I can do is give you my last and final one, and it is without question Kanye West. And the order is on which I'm going to do it is just 3 out the fucking gate. This is easy: College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation. 3 for 3 home runs, grand slams. If you want to call all 3 classics, I wouldn't be mad at you. If you want to say 2 out of 3 are classic, that's fine. 1 out of 3, then you're tripping.
Yeah.
These albums are fire. My personal favorite is Graduation out of the 3, but that could alternate each way.
Oh, you're lying. We ranked the Kanye albums. You picked the other one before that.
Graduation was number 1.
Yeah, you picked that before that. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Nah, we
Let's
both
bet.
picked Late Registration.
No, let's bet.
We agreed on Late Registration on
We
it.
can pull up
All right,
the
we can run
tape,
it back, but
guys.
go ahead.
I'm gonna
Go
edit it
ahead.
in.
Put it in there. Put it in the exact spot when you don't find it. People are like, well, I wonder why he didn't put it there. Because
No.
he didn't find it. That's AB for y'all because he's not going to find it.
Graduation
Might
is
edit this.
amazing. Can't Tell Me Nothing. Good Life. Flashing Lights. Homecoming. It's damn near flawless. Kanye's first three, I think I understand why to this day people are still yearning for that quote unquote old Kanye.
Oh my God.
Because when he came out the gate, the nigga was amazing.
Fire.
So I get it. We spoke earlier about being yourself and not necessarily have to be a gangster, and you can be YBN talking about working at Outback or wherever the fuck he was at. The reason being
TGI Fridays.
Fridays, whatever. The reason being is because Kanye came out and was like, I have on pink polo shirts and I have a backpack.
Louis backpack.
And I've been fucking digging in crates at the record store all night. That's why you could do that. He made that cool. And these three albums are phenomenal. That, bro, this shit's crazy. The albums are amazing.
I mean, you can't. Kanye was on my list as well. I mean,
same three?
Of course.
Yeah, graduation from dropout, college dropout until graduate. You can't lose with this. I mean, Late Registration is one of my favorite. Kanye album is also one of my favorite rap albums ever. Production-wise, that album is probably top 5 because he did so much. Because everybody thought he was going to do the same thing with his freshman effort. He came out with the sophomore. It was darker. It had the bonus tracks that were fire, amazing.
Yeah.
Like everything about this album was great to me.
That crack music verse.
Oh.
When he said Reagan gave us the answer. Hey, dude, that verse is crazy.
Yeah, and they one of my favorites. Actually, the interlude with Common is one of my favorite songs.
On My Way Home.
On My Way Home, when the Gil Scott-Heron sample.
That's banging.
That's fire.
And Paul Wall ripped it over T.I. on Drive Slow.
Not over T.I., but he had a good verse.
Facts.
And T.I. wasn't on the album though. That was
really
after.
Yeah.
But no, there's no one on earth that's going to debate these three Kanye's. There's just impossible.
There's no way.
Nah,
it's impossible.
Can't debate that.
Yeah, and
I wish that guy was still living. That guy right there, man. That Kanye Weston made that. I wish he was still around.
I could have went My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Yeezus, and Pablo.
Absolutely, you could not have.
No, you can't.
Absolutely could not. I could have went Kendrick with Damn.
No.
To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City.
No, you
couldn't.
couldn't.
That was a layup.
Yeah, I mean Kendrick's a layup. The only difference with me, like I said, I had T.I., but I had for different albums. Trap Music was his Undisputed Classic album, Urban Legend, and King. So those were my 3 album runs for Tip because he went the highest he has gone ever in that peak. Outkast was my only difference from you guys. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, Outkast.
Which ones?
I'm about to give it.
Okay.
I'm about to give it to you.
Shit.
It's no secret. I mean, everybody knows Outkast are living legends. They changed. They helped us. They put the South on their back. Okay, let's not forget that. The Outkast put the South on their back. So I can go all Outkast albums, but my 3 album run would be Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, classic. AT-Aliens, classic. Aquemini, Undisputed, classic.
Are we sure that Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music is a classic?
That is a classic by everyone knows this.
Is it an Atlanta classic or a hip hop classic?
No, what year you think they went to the Source Awards?
It's a Southern classic.
Thank you.
What year did
It's
they
the same thing as I'm Serious. I would put them in the same.
No,
thing.
this album is better than I'm Serious.
I'm not saying it's not better. I'm saying
class.
the critically acclaimedness of being a Southern classic, I would say.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a Southern classic. But they want what year did they go to the Source Awards?
No doubt.
Okay.
The Players Ball and Get Up, Get Out.
Yeah, it changed everything. It changed the landscape. It's like Quentin Tarantino and Pulp Fiction. That's how it changed the landscape of how music, what turn music took, and that's why I like about.
I lean a little more toward AT-Aliens and Aquemini, but I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I mean 3 albums. I mean these are all classic in my eyes for sure. Classic albums.
They dropped every 2 years, 94, 96, 98.
Back with that.
Yeah, that's when they were cooking.
Those are amazing albums. Like you can tell they're amazing pieces of work because most people still consider Andre.
Yes,
though that's what they reference when you say, "Oh, you didn't have bodies of work." You say, "We got 3 albums full of 16."
That's a great fucking point.
That is his call to that. So I mean, you can't knock any of those what you guys said. So
can you listen to that Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music today?
Yes.
Really?
Just like I listened to Riding Dirty today.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's like old Southern music. It's like you can still listen to 8-Ball and MJG coming out hard today.
Yes.
Like you can still listen to those and it don't sound like
because
it wasn't really to your point, it wasn't really a lot of stuff out like that then, and it was so much. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it was so good that it's lasted this long.
Yeah,
I would say that.
I can respect that, man. Y'all let us know on Facebook in the rap chat. Give us some of your best 3 album runs. Who did we miss? Who did we forget? Who did we skip out on? Who were we right about? Who were we wrong about? Let us know. Now, do we have a new music?
What happened to Drake? Ain't no Drake.
He got a 10 album run. Hell, you talking about?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't
we'll talk
think
about Drake when we do the
so.
6 album
Didn't
run episode.
think so.
What you got for us, man, on the music break?
Yes, y'all, and we don't stop. We got our man Currency, the Hospital, one of my favorites. He is back with a new release coming out soon called Hot August Nights. This track is off of that project, and this track is entitled Eyes Closed.
Eyes closed. Let's hear it. Man, that was Currency. Eyes closed, like Mike at the free throw line. How you feel about it, sir?
Yes, sir.
I don't think we've ever played a Currency song on here and I've been like, I ain't like it. I'm such a fan of Currency and what he does. I like his consistency. I like that he doesn't pull the Glasses Malone approach and try to be like, oh, it's all gangster rap, you know, and I'm competing with Kendrick Lamar, even though I make smoker music. So I love that Currency stays in his lane, and I love that he's successful in his lane.
Love it.
And I like how he do it. I ain't never have any complaints about Currency.
Yeah, now that Currency song is banging, and I like the fact that he switches up his style. He can go from Alchemist soul sampled loop style beats, or he can do something like this, a little bit more up-tempo that you can ride to. And he doesn't go to the cheat code and go and get somebody on the hook or go and get somebody on the feature. He can do it all himself.
All in-house, baby.
So
I love Currency as far as his, how he does his music. Yeah,
I'm fucking with him. That new project, I think, is like more of an EP. It's about 6-7 tracks, but I'm here for it if it sounds like this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely... obviously, I like this record as well. I'm looking for Hot August Nights to come out. My birthday is in August. It's always Hot August Night. Shout out to them Leos.
Oh, my God. Moving on.
AKA your astrology master over here.
That could be a lot of AKAs.
Before we get out of here, let's talk Tory Lanez. Now, during an Ask Tory Twitter session, a user asked the Toronto artist what he would charge for a feature on his record. Tory replied, and I quote, "On everything, I'm charging $75K for a feature right now," end quote. Now, let's presume that to be true since he put it on everything. If you had an up-and-coming artist, would you make that investment for Lanez to drop them $75K, or is there another artist that you would try to get, presuming that you have that in the budget?
I'm not paying Tory Lanez for it at all, just because I'm not going to get a return on investment on a $75K feature from Tory Lanez. He's a talented guy, and if my artist, he probably gonna smoke my artist if we rapping, and I don't think, I mean, because he a hell of a rapper.
Absolutely.
And you getting in his bag, you charging me $75, you better bring your best.
Yeah.
But I ain't giving him that for no hook though, and I feel like that's what he's strongest at, and that's what I would want him to be on with my artist, more of the R&B Tory Lanez. And if that's what you charging for that, then I don't really need you.
That's rough.
I can get that from the chick that can sing off Instagram or something, man. I can send her $37,000 and be good.
That's true.
So I don't need. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that a Tory Lanez feature puts you in many more places if you got $75K in your budget.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you a nigga that can spend $75K, Tory Lanez ain't the way to go with it. Is what I'm saying.
So who would you go that is in that range? Don't tell me I'm getting Kendrick. No, who?
$75,000.
Yes, that you would think would be in that range. I know we don't know all these artists' fucking tickets, but more of like, would you get a Chainz verse for 75?
The baby.
That's a lot. He can't be charging 75
Yeah,
right now.
you
Right now?
You paying the baby,
Shit.
and you ain't paying Tory Lanez?
Nah, the song may sound better with Tory Lanez. I ain't knocking that. Because Tory Lanez, he a better song maker. But if right now I'm trying to get my artist popping, I want this wave the baby got for the 75 and what he got going on, a new feature from him. Well, I give it to Meg too. I give her 75 right now.
Listen,
either one of them two.
First of all, I think it's worth it because the hook is going to make everything.
That's what I was just
And
gonna say.
Tory Lanez is a hook master. Now, he's not Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's Ty Dolla $ign, Chris Brown, and then everybody else.
Okay.
But Tory Lanez is
Six
not
Black.
too far behind. No, not absolutely
Just
not.
Black.
Not even Six Black.
Six Black.
Or Slack. Not even him, but those two are ahead of everybody else. Tory Lanez is right under them.
You got Black fucked up.
So if I can't afford Chris Brown or Ty Dolla $ign, absolutely line me up, lace me with that Tory Lanez hook,
For sure.
and I'm out of there. But he got to do the video too, though.
Got to do the video.
You got to sign in the contract that you're doing the video, sir.
Y'all gonna hoop in the video?
Absolutely not. Nigga Jumper gonna fuck the song up. But I will say this though, in comparison, earlier this year, Soulja Boy was charging $10,000 for a feature. Would you rather spend 75 on Tory Lanez or 10 for Soulja Boy?
75 easy on Tory
Let
Lanez.
me ask
That's
y'all.
the best 75 I've spent in my life.
You wouldn't do
Would
the
you-
10 for the Soulja Boy?
No.
And he charging beats. He charging $2,500 for a beat.
I didn't no way Soulja Boy charged me $10,000 for no nothing. You better pull up, bro. It's just you better do that on the stream. What the kids say on God. You
On
just
Big God.
Pull up
On
on
Big
God.
God.
On gang, bro. Just pull up on gang, bro. That's what Soulja Boy getting. Would you take Jacquees for them 75? Would you give it Jacquees 75?
30.
37.
30.
Baby, won't all
That's
30.
man. Listen, if you
I pay Jacquees 37 though. Jacquees, he could give you a hook, right?
what hit has he done though? That's how you got to look at
He
it. He
did the cover for
LMA.
Yeah,
You still eating off that 2 years
got
later?
to. That's 30. That's worth 37.
He didn't write that. He just took
You giving
somebody-
Jacquees 37,000?
Yeah.
Why are we saying 37? That's a
That's
random
half
ass
of
number.
That's half of. I'm just going half. 37.
Oh, I was about to-
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So you got 75K for Tory Lanez?
I'm definitely giving Tory. If your artist is talented and you have Tory Lanez on the hook, it's gonna be a hit.
and you got a
depending on
fire
the song.
project.
Yeah,
It's
gonna be it.
rough.
it's a good investment.
You're an A&R, you might lose your job putting everything on that Tory Lanez single.
That's gonna be
It
rough.
depends on the budget, but if I had it, I'll get it to him.
So that's the better question. Y'all, if you're the A&R and your job is dependent on it, and you putting 75K of your budget towards a Tory Lanez single?
I would do that if I got 100K.
Right. Nah.
No, let's say we got 100K.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, y'all want to do 75 for this feature and 25 for marketing and promoting? Hey,
I'm with it.
That might be the play, bro.
Tory gonna get you on the radio if the song is a hit.
He
And
better.
that's what you need. And I need the video again.
I need the video.
Nigga, we
Video
fly
needs to
your
be
ass
included.
down, your non-jump shooting ass down
And
to
you
wherever
need the
I'm
social
at.
media is included. You need
All
to
that. All of that. I need a total package with that shit. All right, man. On deck of the week. Again, I mentioned this earlier. Shout out to Micah_P on Instagram. He sent us a question. He said, man, I know you guys previously did an episode on the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, but I've got a twist. Does anybody have 3 straight classic albums that you would put into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame? Now, of course, we did a spin on that. We're not saying that all 3 of these albums we mentioned were classic, but they were fire. He put it as an example, Jay-Z with Reasonable Doubt, In My Lifetime 1 and 2. So I know a lot of people don't like 2 though.
I would go.
People don't like 2.
It's 1 or 2.
Volume
people
2, a lot of people off on. This is his highest selling album. I would go The Dynasty, The Blueprint, and
Nah, because then
Black
Blueprint
Album.
2.
Black Album, right?
No, Blueprint 2 is before Black Album.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it is.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
then that blew that. Then.
Yeah, I'm hot about
Even though
that.
that's not a bad album, but it's just not worth.
That perfect. If the
you're
album
right.
would have been
It
14.
did come out right next year.
If the album would have been 14 songs, Blueprint 2 would have been a classic.
So Jay-Z don't have 3 straight bangers? That's what we saying? Because you
kind-
could
what
go
was it?
Volume 3, Dynasty, and then Blueprint.
Yeah, you can.
You can do that.
But Dynasty
Well, you
blows
can go Black Album, American Gangster, right?
No, Kingdom Come came after Black Album.
God.
And
Dynasty blows it for your thing.
Dynasty banging.
It's banging, but it's not a full J project.
People always try to throw that as a compilation. I just don't see it. When I never remember them marketing that as a.
Yeah, it was because it was supposed to be a compilation.
Yeah.
At first, it wasn't gonna be a J
They changed
album.
it to a J album, but
They
it
would
was
start getting them Kanye tracks in. Jay was like, "Hold on, let me
Dynasty
do some
was-
more work."
Dynasty was a year before that, right?
No, it was Kanye. He was on. He helped him with most of that.
Dynasty
album.
was 2000.
Oh, because it did Can't Be Life on that. That's right. Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
And soon you'll understand. I think.
That song was fire.
So Jay,
Jay ain't got no 3 albums.
He was the most consistent.
I'll tell you who do got one.
who?
My nigga Nelly.
All right.
Country
And
Grammar.
with that being said,
Country Grammar. What was the next one? Nellyville.
we don't know.
And then the double CD. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Suit.
Sweatsuit.
That shit was
Yeah,
trash.
nigga.
Fuck
That shit was
outta
trash.
here.
Country Grammar
Nellyville was
Nellyville
hard, but that was trash.
and Suit.
Suit was trash. Suit
Suit, man.
Just
Sweatsuit.
Suit. I get to
No.
pick either one. It's
No,
a double
oh,
CD.
hell no.
I get to pick either one.
Absolutely
so Suit.
not.
The Hot Boys.
No, the
No.
third album was trash, bro.
The third album was okay. Don't do the third album like that.
trash.
Let them burn. Fucking trash, bro.
Basura.
Yeah, just as bad as that Nelly shit you just tried to throw.
No,
out there.
Nelly first
Nelly
2
hit me.
albums was banging.
Well, I could just throw the
Fuck
St.
outta
Lunatics as the third one then.
You throw them out with the fucking garbage.
That St. Lunatics album was fire.
All right,
man.
man.
Fire?
Yes, that
Bruh,
St.
yeah.
Lunatics and that Murphy Lee and that Ali was all right.
Yeah, all right. What you
It was
should have
all right.
led with.
That Murphy Lee was banging though.
Shout
That
out
was
to
all right.
Micah_P. We appreciate you with the dope suggestion.
Shout out my St. Louis people, man.
Absolutely. Now, what new music do we have, sir? Please don't name every
I'll
damn
start
album
with
out.
Labs. Last week, Drake dropped Care Package, was a collection of Lucy's from the past 10 years. We discussed that earlier. Lil Durk was really the true hip-hop artist who dropped a real full-length album last week.
Yep.
And it's not bad at all. Shout out to the whole Chi-Town, Lil Durk. He did his thing on this project. It's actually something I was looking forward to hearing because I want to hear his maturation, and especially with this case looming.
The Dirk out. Did he
Is
get
he
out?
out on bond?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought you meant it was the album. I was like, yeah, I just said. Yeah, he's out on bond, and we wish him the best with that situation. and I hate this artist, but I will mention this. Rich Forever from Rich the Kid came out, featuring Famous Dex and Jay Critch. Rich the Kid gets no play in my ride at all.
Yeah, that's a skill.
And yeah, that's it. Black Milk came out as well for all you underground fans. Black Milk came out with Dive. So coming up this week, we all know the most anticipated album from the boss himself, Ricky Rose.
Let's fucking go. MMG Brown is my name for the rest of the fucking week, nigga.
Yeah,
Let's go.
He's supposed to be coming out with the Port of Miami 2. A lot of high expectations. And off of this
better be banging. I know that long as we waited for this shit.
Yes, a lot of.
Better be banging.
Right.
Real quick, though, do we get Pusha T and Wayne on that Maybach Music 6? Yes, no.
No.
What?
No, it's not happening.
I'm betting bread that he's on there.
He didn't sound too confident about it when he was interviewing.
No, he didn't.
He wouldn't have brought it up if I don't think they would be on there.
Jeff and Eric brought it up on the interview that I heard.
No, but he was asked on the interview the week before that. I heard the rumor is that you had.
But he didn't answer the question.
That was him trying to do that media negotiating that the Cowboys doing with Zeke now. Like he trying to get Pusha T to be like, see, the people want it. I mentioned it.
Because they saying Wayne with it, but Pusha T not.
Like the
Wayne
Cowboys with Zeke.
Yeah, we negotiating through the media. Man.
Good luck.
We getting
Zeke will miss a lot of games this year. But
it don't matter.
Port of Miami 2 coming out. Rick Ross, like I said, this will be my reintroduction to putting out reviews. You will get those linked in our On Deck TV podcast, and some links will be posted on my page as well. So look out for those. Other albums we have coming out: Bumps and Bruises from Ugly God, Arrogant American from Riff Raft, and
boy.
No.
Yes, I don't know why this Murs and Knife Wonder is coming up again, but it's already out.
I don't know why it came out to begin with.
Actually, it's not bad at all from what I've heard so far. Knife Wonder is a magician behind the board.
He's nice.
He better be doing shit with Murs.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So that's what we got.
David.
Right,
and I saw a tease on Future's page for something this Friday. I'm not sure if it's going to be a video for a single or another
2 Chainz song
or another single or project. So we'll see about that as well.
Wake Me When That What a Time to Be Alive 2 comes out.
Never every 30 seconds.
Oh, we also got that Megan and Nicki song coming out on the 9th as well.
So that one is coming out. That's a big record. That is something that I predicted earlier this year on the OndeckTV podcast. If you remember correctly.
That nigga can get that out faster.
Yeah. That is a big record. That's something that I predicted on an OndeckTV podcast earlier this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Timestamp 4463.
That's right. Motherfuckers hate to be wrong, and I love to be right.
Nobody was wrong about it, to be clear. You just said it. You just said it.
Yeah.
We said we prefer Cardi.
We
said we prefer a Cardi song.
Megan picking a side, I don't like it. I'm going to go ahead and be
no
on record.
sides.
Maybe she the peacekeeper. Maybe she can bring all of them
together. Here for unity. There's no sides.
Maybe the hot girl can bring everybody together and make it a good, finalized hot girl summer, and we get a song with all three of them.
Perception is reality. People are going to look at it like she's choosing a side. I'm not
gonna
saying
bring
she
everybody
is.
together.
That's just going to be the perception.
I think Megan the peacekeeper.
I think this record is needed, so I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Megan the peacekeeper.
Real quick, though, before we talk about what we got on deck for the weekend, y'all do us a favor. Go to Patreon. We have some brand new shit. We waited to the end to debut this. Patreon.com/RealVille. Do us a favor. That's RealVille with 2 E's. Believe that. We've got new content on there as we speak. We've got a brand new show. We're doing album reviews. It's called Album Cover. Y'all go check that. We got 2 new joints on there right now. We've got more exclusive content coming very, very soon. You are going to want to check that shit out. If I may say so myself, it's fire.
Speaking of exclusive content, you may have seen an extra drop last week, and that was a Snow School. That was our podcast where we discussed snowfall. We're going to do 4 of those, so there are 3 more coming. We'll review them after every 3rd episode and then a finale episode. So you guys be on the lookout for Snow School. We're going to continue to add to it and make it good, part of the new content that we have for you. That one will not be on Patreon. We'll have it in your regular feed as far as how you get your On Deck TV podcast. So continue to look out for Snow School. We appreciate the feedback that we got on that.
Absolutely, man. Again, patreon.com/RealVille. The link will be in these notes. Just click that shit. Take it straight there. Now, what do you got on deck for the weekend?
That man came out. I need to practice. There's a tournament coming up on the 6th with my guys over there at Dead End that I definitely need practice for because I got beat by the computer on my first try. The Giants, nonetheless.
You some slaughter.
Man, I had the Cardinals though. I had to see what my guy Cotter was looking like. So y'all find me on the PS4, man. I am Spike Lou this weekend if you can.
Find me on there too, man. Animal Brown or Animal_Brown. I can't remember, but I'm on the PS4
Take
online
your whack
network.
ass underscore over there. You were forced to use that shit everywhere else. You ain't bring that shit.
But I'm slow motion this weekend. No movies out right now. It's kind of quiet, even though it's summertime. That's kind of some slaw. So I'll be in the crib. I'm going to start a new series, Animal Kingdom. I'm hearing good things about it.
Great show.
Why do you keep putting
Great
off
show.
The Wire?
Well, I got to finish The Sopranos first. I do have to finish The Sopranos, and I am struggling through season 6.
Yeah, you made me forget all about the Kevin Finnerty. I forgot all about that
storyline
theory.
is trash.
I forgot about that theory though. That was a hell of a theory though.
It was
Which
trash.
once you read into it though,
The theory is
the theory
killing.
is dope, but the TV, the shit on the screen is some slaw.
Get Tony out of the fucking coma immediately, because
He
this shit is trash.
He was selling insurance, wasn't he?
Yes, it's
Oh,
trash.
man, yeah, that was bad.
Mxtra, what you got on deck, sir?
I'm not sure this weekend. I'm sure I'm gonna fall into something slow motion for me. We will see. I do need to go get that Madden as well as Mxtra 3 on Xbox Live if you are playing.
Nobody plays Xbox.
Apparently, everybody in
Sorry.
America plays Xbox. Xbox is the number one online gaming experience.
Allegedly.
No, it's stats. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, they do.
Numbers don't lie.
They lying now.
Oh, shit. All right, man. Again, we appreciate it. Fuck with us on Facebook. Follow us at OndeckTV Podcast on Instagram. And go to iTunes, rate, comment, subscribe, like, do all that good shit. Patreon.com/Realville. We out.
Yep.